How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family, I was watching a video over on Dr. Mumby's channel, which I will share with the royal family. And there's been some jokes and criticism towards one of their politicians or governors who have had some power relinquished from him by the name of Michael Sacco. I think that's the best I can pronounce his name. And so I was just paying attention to what was going down because, they laughing at the fact that, in the care packages that he is giving out, he put some Hennessy in there. So I wanted to see, let's do an in-depth and see what's really going on over there in Kenya. So when I started looking deeper, let me blow this up. Let me bring this over. Bring it down a little bit. I want to make sure folks see it. 303 confirmed in Kenya with coronavirus. 83 recovered and 14 have passed on. I said, I got to look into this a little deeper. And I have an article to read the royal family. Because they so badly want our folks to be ravaged with coronavirus. So, and I will put this article in so y'all can read it at your leisure. The article is Vox. And this is the 21st. Africa has so far been spared the worst of the coronavirus that could change soon. See, see, if that was any other country, they would just leave it with, with any other country has so far been spared the worst of coronavirus. But see, they got to add that little dig in there. That could change soon because they feeling some kind of way. Because I've been listening real closely day one. And soon as pandemic came out, Africa been dealing with so many pandemics. They so far are the only country that are prepared for pandemics. So what they did was they trained additional medical personnel in South Africa. I think I read that to y'all. African continent is extremely vulnerable to a large-scale coronavirus outbreak, but not just in the way you might think. No, that's what y'all want. Nearly every country in Africa has recorded at least one case of coronavirus, leading over 30 nations on the continent to impose lockdowns to slow down the virus as of April 20th. Sub-Saharan Africa has more than 20,000 confirmed coronavirus cases and more than 1,000 confirmed deaths. The lower numbers, the other could mean African nations act early to stop a wider outbreak, but also that there have been very few tests on the continent. A young population might not suffer as visibly as a place like Europe. In other words, there may be a larger outbreak that just hasn't been officially identified yet. Y'all over there watching like a hawk. See, this is when you hear peer hatred, peer racism. As I continue on, Either way, experts warn that the lower numbers are unlikely to last. Millions in Africa buy the food they eat on the day they eat it. All right. Large number amounts of substance just isn't. These people are something. Viable option, which means the daily trip to the market is vital for many. Governments asking people socially distance then likely not work in the long run. A massive coronavirus crisis would become likely equal food security crisis. Okay, says Sean Ross, a Kenyan-based economical agriculture expert at the humanitarian organization of Mercy Corporations, told me. All right. We know millions of people in Africa live just on or just above the poverty line. With the slightest shock or crisis, it knocks them below the poverty line. You want them to have it in droves. That would only exacerbate the known challenges Africa has. Many country healthcare systems are ill-equipped to treat patients without support from international organizations. Many governments don't have enough resources to tell citizens what precautions they should take to starve off the virus, such as washing their hands for 20 seconds or keeping 6 feet apart. And millions on the continent, mainly in East and South, already suffer from other complications as HIV that could make them more vulnerable for COVID-19 infection. These are other concerns lead the World Health Organization to estimate the continent could see 10 million cases of coronavirus within the next 6 months. And a report last week from Imperial College London predict that 300,000 people on the continent might die from the disease. A separate report from the UN Economical Commission of Africa said that the worst case scenario, with no interventions against the disease, more than 1 billion, that's with a B, might get infected. 3.3 million could die. That's a lot of bad news, but there are some reasons for optimism. Africa is extremely young continent. More than 98% of the population is under the age of 65. That could make for a lower death toll in a place like Europe, where the population skewed older. Many African nations also have experienced dealing, like I said before, dealing with major diseases and outbreaks, especially the Ebola in 2014. And international organizations are working to provide assistance and training. See, what's messing them up, my royal family? What's messing them up? What's messing them up? They cannot understand seeing numbers like this. All right? You got 14 that died in Kenya. And they feeling some kind of way because of somebody like this brother here, who very flamboyant, but a very giving man. And they want to ridicule him because he put some Hennessy in a care package. Ain't nothing had a little Hennessy. Shit. That's what you want, drink your Hennessy. So I want to look into it deeper. I didn't read the whole article, but I said I got to look deeper because I always do deep research because I have to satisfy thyself. So before I show y'all what I found, let's listen to our queen here, Dr. Mumby.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, Africa.
Hello and welcome, family. To the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray you're well in all your ways and that you are living your best life. Thanks to every single person that has followed us here to the Dr. Mumbi Live. But we really appreciate love each and every one of you. And just all, a huge shout out to everyone who has joined us on our Patreon account, all our new family members. We absolutely appreciate love each and every one of you, and we are going to be using the sponsorship from our Patreon account to develop the next system that we need, so that even after this, in the post-apocalyptic world, we still find a way to reach you, etc., etc. There's many people who have also reached out from the IT world. I appreciate love each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Now, I love this story. Of course, Kenyans, I mean, seriously. So our famous Nairobi governor, who is known for his extremely flashy lifestyle, but also extremely generous heart, has made news internationally. I mean, this story, it was sent to me from CNN, BBC. It was everywhere. It literally went globally viral. And the reason is he's basically, so he's called Mike Mbuvi or Sonko. Sonko is basically like, baller or rich man, I think. If you're Kenyan, just to translate Sonko down there. Anyway, so he was sending out a care package because Kenya is in curfew, and what has happened is that the elite and the middle class are the ones who have shut themselves in their houses, and this has kind of crippled the economy, because 80% of Kenya's economy lives on a hand-to-mouth existence, which basically means they're living on a daily wage, but a lot of those daily wages have been shut down. Now there's been increasing rumors that Kenya is going to go into lockdown, and I think the president is aware, with his current political situation, that might not be the wisest move for him. And that's what's happening with a lot of these, side note guys, that's what's happening with a lot of these puppet presidents, is they're now finding that the system has been collapsed. So the system they were enjoying, they'd get money, they'd have their little fiefdom, their little community, that's gone. The world is going into New World Order mode, which means these African presidents are null and void. They either follow the script and become like a regional governor for the regional, for the New World Order, or they'll be wiped out. So it would be, extremely wise of them at such a time as this to refigure out their strategy and maybe side with their people if they hope to survive in any way, shape, or form. Stories for other days. I'm going to do a prophetic update about, African presidents and what's happened to them, because it's crazy. So now, this governor, Sonko, mind you, so he was basically giving care packages to a lot of the people in the slum areas, or in the highly impoverished areas, and he put together food items, toilet paper, sanitizer with his freaking face on, which we've seen a lot of the governors do. Like, why spend extra money branding that thing with your face instead of using that money for branding to buy a couple more bottles or whatever you're getting? So the governor actually, in his care package, he included Hennessy. Oh my gosh, this is so classic. So not only did he include Hennessy in his package, but he also implied that the drink may have medicinal properties, and even went as far as quoting the World Health Organization. Take a listen to this. We'll be right back.
I think it has created some mixed reactions. Why am I giving some small bottles of Hennessy in the food pack, the package which we give to our people? I think from the research which has been conducted by the World Health Organization and various health organizations, it has been revealed that alcohol plays a very major role in killing the coronavirus or any sort of virus. If you see, you take any sanitizer and you check the alcoholic content, you'll find out each sanitizer has above 70% of alcohol content. And you see those things you're putting there, that is not a drug or changa. That is Hennessy, which has some percentage of alcoholic content, and that should act as a throat sanitizer. It kills the virus. In case the virus is held somewhere in the throat, it kills. So the Hennessy's which are there, I'm giving to adults, not to any person below 18 years of age. If you come to a house, there is a family of adults, we give you 4 pieces of Hennessy bottles, so that when you take it, it clears the throat. If there is any coronavirus in the throat, it is killed instantly.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, Africa.
Welcome back to the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. And according to the WHO, it's a throat sanitizer and can actually help against coronavirus. He may know more than anybody else, but seriously, he knows his constituents so well. And people were complaining left, right, center, up and down and backwards. He got so much criticism. But his residents were happy, man. Couple bottles of Hennessy, like top range, cognac. Damn, thanks, Governor. And so, a lot of people, it trended in Kenya for a while, the know-it-all Christians pretending it's a bad thing. But hey, Kenya is a drinking nation. I think you've heard me say that several times before. So why are we all pretending? This is probably what the people need, so they don't go out and riot, And he said, he had actually said, we will have some small bottles of Hennessy in the food packs that we will be giving to our people. I love it. I love it. And you know what? He has made such an epic comeback, because he was also being charged on, allegations of, taking money, corruption, etc., etc. And they actually literally took power from him and created like a Nairobi metropolitan area. But I feel it was deeper than most people in Kenya think. But I'm so tired of talking Kenya politics. But it was deeper than most people think, because they are getting ready to put this new world order in place. And Nairobi for them is a key place. And our politicians are brotherhood. So that they needed to take back control of Nairobi, so that they could, follow their master's orders. It's going to be a bad time to be a puppet. What? It's going to be a bad time to be a puppet president now in Africa. Before you were enjoying, because you could go to Europe, get the health, whatever, do this, do that. But now you're going to be the one poisoning your people. Because if you don't take out those orders, they'll frame you, they'll kill you, whatever. But even the money you stole is null and void, because they're crashing the economy. So what are you going to do about that? Anyway, this thing went so viral that Hennessy headquarters heard about it and even released a statement. And they said, Hennessy would like to stress that the consumption of our brand or any other alcoholic beverage does not protect against the virus. And, it's a French-based brand, in case you didn't know that. And the governor has come under fire. But, a lot of people saying, sometimes they wish he had maybe included like a local brew, an African brew, instead of a French brew. But hey, I don't know. This made my day. Let me know what you think in the comments.
All right.
Next time.
I want to leave it right there as we continue on My Royal Family. So I wanted to look in a little bit deeper. Now, there's something going on over in Kenya. Now, I'm not saying this brother per se is giving the cure or anything like that, but those numbers is low. So that means that somebody is doing something right over in Kenya. So I was just looking. This is his Twitter. And they don't like the fact that he's flamboyant. You'll see him with 1,000 rings on, but I'm guilty of that my damn self. So I was looking at, they have set up these sanitized stations through their country. I see some sinks back here too. And this is not the first time I've seen in an African country where they make it possible where you can wash your hands. And they do that before you can get on the bus. And I showed that a while back to y'all. But these European countries want so bad or so badly for something to happen over there because they waiting for them to scream and holler, we need you. And our folks over there got sense. They got over there and did what they had to do. Now, some of the politicians over there don't like Homeboy because he got his name on everything, you know, and he trying to redeem himself too. And so I wanted to see what was really going on. Somebody even vandalized those some of those stations that they set up to you know, be sanitized to some extent. But I don't want to get into that one yet. I wanted to see what was these people doing. So let's look at this. I'm going to show you a few short videos.
Wa eneo hili ndipo maana
Let's go to the beginning. Let's watch this first one and see what they're doing over there in Kenya. We can learn some things.
kifaa kile tulikuwa tumekiweka hapa Kibra cha kuweza kile cha mwosho wa kupambana na virusi vya corona kimeweza kubanduliwa na kutolewa pale na DC wa eneo hili. Ndipo maana tumekuja hapa tujue itilafu ni gani. Na jambo lile la kusikitisha zaidi ni kwamba kuna watu wachache katika serikali ambao wameona kuanza kuingiza siasa katika miradi ambayo inasaidia wananchi. Ukitizama Nairobi leo ndio iko na ndio ina idadi kubwa ya wale ambao wamepatwa na virusi vya corona. Na gavana wa Nairobi Mike Sonko amejitolea kuhakikisha kwamba wananchi wanapata huduma ya kujikinga na zile virusi. Kwa hivyo ni jambo la kuhuzunisha sana kwamba afisa mmoja wa serikali anaweza jitolea kuja kubomoa kile kifaa ambacho kimekuwa kikisaidia wananchi wa Kibra tangu kiwekwa hapa siku 2 zilizopita. Kwa hivyo ni jambo la kusikitisha sana kwamba tunaweza kuanza kuweka siasa duni katika miradi ambao tumejitolea kuhakikisha wananchi wa Kibra na wananchi wa Nairobi wako salama. Ukitizama hata Mombasa, vile vibanda ambavyo vimetengenezwa vya mwosho kama huu tumeweka Nairobi, viko na jina ya governor na viko na jina ya Suleiman Shabal ambayo ndio wale wafadhili wa mradi ule. Na yule manufacturer ambaye aliunda vile vifaa vilivyo Mombasa ndiye aliunda hivi vifaa vilivyo Nairobi. Kwa hivyo ni jambo la kuhuzunisha sana kwamba mtu anaweza kuamua kutesa wananchi wale wa Kibra wote kwa sababu ameona jina Sonko pale. Huu si wakati wa siasa jameni. Huu ni wakati wa Kenya wote tuungane tuhakikishe kwamba tumepambana na shida hii.
All right.
Mambo ya kudisinfect. When Suleiman and I spoke of the equipment, we now needed to involve the experts to be able to come up with the right chemical that can be used, that is human friendly and will not cause any harm.
Ben Kirira, K24 Evening Edition.
All right. That's understandable, even though I didn't know what the first brother was saying, but it was understandable. It was felt. It was felt. So, I'm going to show you something here. As we continue with the installation of the public sanitation booths in different parts of Nairobi, our fumigation team was also working around the clock to fumigate our estate, informal settlement markets, private and public service vehicles. So they're making an effort. They're trying. Look like they're also in those areas where they can call it the slums. They out and about here doing their thing. And I see sisters out here with these sanitizers, and they got on canisters. That's the real deal right there. You know, I see some people with gloves, some people without gloves, but they got lower cases of it. All right. You see, you know, I guess it's on, you know, person's own preference what they want to do, but they're out there around the clock trying to eradicate this stuff. And I didn't show, you know, enough of the booths. They're giving out gloves as you come out to everybody. And Government of Kenya alcohol-based hand sanitizer. All right. Let's see what else is on this last picture. Oh, more sanitizer. Okay, let's look at this next one. Now they in the slums doing this, giving this stuff out.
Watu hiyo hapo flavor. So watu watatu washikanisha watu. Pita huko juu.
Damn, it look like they're giving them money. Wow. As we continue on, I want to see what's really going on out here. Okay. We heard him talk before, so I don't want to repeat that. I more so want to see the internals. I'm a person like that. You know, he's making an effort. This is what we need to be seeing. All this bitching and all this shit that we seeing in America, and, you know, Esau out here acting like they've been locked up. We need to be hiring folks to get out here and clean up this world. This is what needs to be done. And they know they need to clean up. They know what they need to do because they have dealt with stuff like this. We ain't dealt with stuff like this. Look at this dude. He got on a pair of panties on his face. It ain't nothing to laugh at. I'm not in a laughing mood and stuff. So I just wanted to find out a little bit more what this brother is about. Now, there's some folks. Hold on, let me go over to the next thing. I left something out. I think I left something out. Did I leave something out? Wait a minute, let me go check. No, I didn't leave it out. I didn't leave it out at all. So I have a bonus video I'm going to show y'all later because some people are feeling some kind of way about what this brother is doing, the governor of Nairobi City. And but before we go there, it's another video I want to show. And you will see the same numbers that I showed the royal family, that they have 303 cases and only 14 deaths. And let's listen to what this queen has to say that works in the medical field.
Taking you back to that story, Kenya has a total of 14 coronavirus-related deaths, And with models showing that more people could succumb to COVID-19, pathologists handling death inquests are also now on the front line at the risk of contracting the disease. KTN's Beldin Waliaula talked to pathologist Professor Emily Rogena and reports of the new challenges facing pathologists.
It is not business as usual for pathologists. Professor Emily Rogena says pathologists are now facing new challenges when it comes to doing post-mortems on bodies of those who have died from COVID-19.
We are very, very cautious in dealing with the organism in a dead person. One, because we are not very sure about how it will be transmitted, and number two, that other organisms that we have previously dealt with can be transmitted even from dead bodies when they are respiratory in nature.
Should a pathologist carrying out a procedure find an infection in the lungs, Professor Rogena says they should stop immediately and disinfect the body to avoid the spread of the infection.
Any body fluid, blood inclusive, is potentially infected. And so we cannot, we recommend that we have to use a packaging system that is leak-proof as possible to prevent leakage of these body fluids.
Another way forensic pathologists are trying to minimize the exposure to the coronavirus is by limiting dissections.
Our culture may change. People may see the good of faster disposal of bodies, but also people may also realize that our practices potentially can expose us to infection or dangerous organisms, not just COVID as it were.
The public should not stigmatize families whose kin die from COVID-19.
We propose that not only do we minimize the maneuvering of the body after it has died, so it has to be wrapped properly and then put in the body bag. As far as viewing is concerned, yes, there has to be limited viewing for purposes of identification.
For now, forensic pathologists can only be more cautious as the world confronts the pandemic.
All right, my royal family. I thought that was necessary for us to hear it because we need to know what is going on, you know? You focus on America, you can be lost in the sauce. It's beautiful to have the internet. Now, let's go back here. So folks is making judgment because, of some of these things that this brother has done. And here comes the propaganda.
Might run into serious political headwinds after Governor Mike Sonko threatened to pull out of his recent deed of transfer that saw several county functions, including healthcare, taken up by the national government. Sonko's remarks followed the demolition of several disinfection spray booths he had set up in the city to combat the spread of COVID-19. ATN News understands that Sonko claims there might be an even bigger plot meant to humiliate him into quitting office. Here's KTN's Moremi Mwangi with the lowdown.
Monday the 20th of April, and Nairobi City Governor Mike Sonko launched these disinfection spray booths across the city in a bid to contain spread of the contagious coronavirus disease. A plan, he said, was aimed at donating 50 such equipment. Through his non-governmental organization, Sonko Rescue Team. 2 days later, residents of Kibra woke up to the spray booths missing, just as their counterparts in Muthurwa and commuters at the Kencom bus station. All the three reportedly having been demolished under the cover of darkness, allegedly under the supervision of Nairobi Regional Commissioner Wilson Jenga.
Kule Mombasa nimeona Governor Joho ametengeneza kitu inaitwa sanitizing booths, na imeandikwa vizuri Hassan Joho Foundation, Hassan Joho and Shabal Foundation. Mbona hiyo haibomolewi? Kwa sababu iko na jina ya Hassan Joho. Why are we applying double standards?
If it is in the interest of the public that we sanitize, if it is in the interest of the public that we combat COVID-19, then the question we are asking, why do you, vandalize to extinction sanitization booths that have been erected by our leaders?
Speaking to KTN News, Njenga denied knowledge of removal of the booths. Njenga says he is only aware of his recent directive on channeling of all food and any other form of aid through the Emergency Fund Committee, after the Sonko rescue team attempted to distribute their aid directly to the people. But the governor now claims there is a bigger scheme to humiliate him among Nairobians, in what he says is meant to frustrate him out of office. A standoff, he says, has made it impossible to distribute these face masks, sanitizers and foodstuff to Nairobi residents. The governor, through his spokesperson Ben Mulwa, has threatened to quit the deed of transfer that saw him hand over several county functions to the national government, including healthcare.
We find it a bit unfortunate there are a few individuals who think that they are immune either to this disease, or they think that by helping the public is they find that this is the time to play politics instead of teaming up with those who are doing something.
The said handover has already taken effect, with the budget for the transferred functions being budgeted with the parent national government ministries. Sonko threats and alleged plans of a petition already being drafted for filing in court, threatening to not only put in jeopardy the political tranquility necessary for the counter-COVID-19 war, but also the budget preparations for the coming financial year.
The governor is very expressed that in the event they are not able to follow through what is captured in the deed of transfer and what the constitution expects in the event functions are transferred to another government, the governor has no problem at all terminating this deed of transfer. And there is a very clear provision for the same.
And as the supremacy battle intensifies between the two levels of government, the casualty, it appears, might be the political unity necessary in the fight against the coronavirus. Murami Mwangi, KTN News, in Nairobi.
A family.
All right, my royal family. Well, we see that when it doesn't matter when it comes to politicians, that they will take an opportunity like this, and this brother is making an effort. People are doing something right in Kenya, but then you got some folks that want to run rogue. They would prefer to see people sick and say, see, they needy and all this type of stuff. People got nefarious things that run through them and stuff. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on what's going down in Kenya. See, when you start peeling back the layers and looking at countries that have a very low rate of this, you have to wonder what's really going on. And so, you got your haters. Always going to have your haters. It is what it is. But I just wanted to take the time to put a spotlight on Kenya, and we will keep them in our prayers, because that's a challenge that they have. And that means that another thing, you must individually have to do your part individually. And you take a country like America, and Trump considered countries like this a shithole, and they have that amount. It just makes you think, my royal family. It really makes you think really, really deep. So, my royal family, render your voice with your beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.